within the black community, which is fascinating, and it's spearheaded by trailblazers like Kanye West and Candace Owens, who have basically broken free of the Matrix and now are encouraging other people to break out of the Matrix. And Kanye West himself describes Alex Jones as a Matrix breaker, which is what he is. I mean, I was aware of the 9/11 conspiracy because of Alex Jones. I watched the Obama deception and was aware of Obama's mendacity, and he became pretty accurate, didn't he? So people that are just involved in the entertainment world, they just virtue signal until now, have actually just had their first dose of wokeness. They've just had their first red pill with Kanye. He experiences the kind of discrimination that Rosa Parks experienced. Get back to the back of the bus. And it was... You're not allowed to wear a Trump hat, a Make America Great Again hat. It's not even a Trump hat, it's a Make America Great Again hat. You're not allowed to do that because you're not allowed to be patriotic. You have to celebrate open borders and all the Democrats' obstructivism. And if you break free of that and start thinking for yourself, then people like Snoop Dogg will, call you a bitch. And you'll be just tossed aside by all the people that liked you before because they can't handle other people's opinions. Don't agree with them. And the media will then call you hateful and bigoted, or just stupid, or bizarre. That's a good one, isn't it? Yeah, Kanye's bizarre rant about how we're all plugged into a matrix and how we're all forced to do what the establishment wants us to do, once it forces us to do, through laws like hate speech laws, etc., which have no actual legal precedent. Actually, if you were looking at morals, hate speech laws are completely immoral. I mean, it's been classed as hate speech to have a dictionary definition of a woman being female, or women, or whatever. That's now hate speech. So what does it mean? It's just when someone has hurt feelings. That's not facts. How can you prosecute people based on hurt feelings? But they've announced quite proudly they're going to do that, and they've actually done that many, many times. But remember, Alex Jones lost all his platforms on mainstream media, on mainstream alternative media, on social media, because of alleged hate speech. He used alleged hate speech, so now anyone posting his videos or anything with him in it gets banned as well, because he once used alleged hate speech. Can people not see how mad that is? And it's not the end. They can't even see the obvious anymore. You don't need to think about it. They can't see it because they feel differently. These people are my friends, so therefore I can't say anything about Islam, therefore we won't do anything about the Pakistani community in Telford or Oxford or Rotherham or wherever. And people are more scared of being called racist than rapist. Because it's not really a crime to stab someone saying Allahu Akbar, but it is a crime to hurt someone's feelings or sit in their safe space when you're not meant to. Like Julia Hartley-Brewer, who's recently now banned from the next Labour conference. What? Because she sat in a safe space for the crime of sitting in a chair in a place where you should be able to in this country anywhere, shouldn't you? Oh, but because hateful neo-Nazi Owen Jones decided that she's hateful and bigoted and she's just like Katie Hopkins and all the rest of them, then, everyone must listen to him and fall at his feet and have him on interviews on telly, etc., because we need this radical extremist, that isn't at all left-wing. If we're talking about liberal, we're not talking about liberal, we're talking about contacting all the CEOs of all different companies, telling them, no, Nigel Farage is an extremist, we need to kick him off LBC. We're talking about, Trump's an extremist, everyone that's in the government is an extremist, all these regular, ordinary people are extremists, your grandparents, because they voted for Brexit, they're extremists, we need to kick them out of the country. Fuck off, Owen Jones. I bet he's celebrating this poster being taken down because it was transphobic having that dictionary definition, and trans people have faced oppression all their lives, blah, blah, blah. If someone gets called pufter now, you have to turn around and say, I'm going to have you arrested and get them charged, etc. Is that what the LGBT did? Is that what my community did all our lifetimes, fighting for rights, etc.? We've just fought to ban language and get people caught in the crossfire who don't deserve it. Is that what we did? Because why should I appreciate that? It seems to me, people are gay, they were maligned in society all their lives, now they get hurt feelings, so they now have a legal right to actually sue them and get money from them, or, assault people or whatever. Where does that end? Am I allowed to use certain words, probably, which I restrict myself from using anyway on Twitter, which is ridiculous, self-censoring, but I have to now. I can't even say faggot on Twitter. I can probably say it on this video, even though I'm actually gay. It doesn't seem to matter. I'm not allowed to criticise the T in the LGBT, even though I'm allegedly in the LGBT community, even though I've ostracised myself from it. And remember, it was a gay man, not a transgender person, that had campaigned to have this poster taken down. No one complained. No transgender people complained. It wouldn't have been a news story. In fact, this woman wouldn't have been half as known as she is. Thank God that she is, because she's brilliant. She coldly uses facts, and they don't like that. That hurts their feelings. So we have to either ban them, or shut them up, or say, can't you see that they have a right to live, and, you're so angry, you're hateful, you're bigoted. Look what you're doing to this poor woman. It's not a woman. Don't say that. It's just like... It just becomes about feelings. It stops being factual. When it becomes about feelings, you can't then make it legislative. You can't just suddenly prosecute people for using a pronoun that they didn't want you to. Which I had messages of people saying, when has that ever happened? It has happened. The case was dropped, but it has happened. And the point is, the precedent has been set for it to happen again and again and again. Just like the precedent has been set with the Dankula case. Just like the precedent is set with everything that happens. There's always a precedent set. You know, we have fewer and fewer freedoms. I think it's fewer. It might be less. And the left are happy to censor the right, and then the right are happy to censor the left, and then we have no freedoms, because we've all censored each other. So what would be the point in that? Why don't we just rise above it and just understand that there's a technocracy censoring us on social media completely unfairly? No, because one side is favoured by that. One side has been linked to liberalism, and liberals seem to think they have a monopoly on tolerance. You know, you can't be kind if you're not liberal. Well, that's why your grandparents and parents that voted for Brexit and that probably support Trump and populism, etc., are the kindest people in the world then, is it? Is that why they're much kinder than you? Because liberals aren't very kind. And nowadays, like Owen Jones contacting CEOs trying to get Nigel Farage shut down, you know, calling Julia Hartley-Brewer to be banned, etc., just completely maligning people and insulting them and blocking them off and silencing them. Nowadays, he is not liberal. These people are not liberal. They're the nearest thing to Nazis we have.